There is no guarantee for success, but there are ways to get closer to it when you do the right things. Who you surround yourself with is just as important as what you do. Finding the right people, the right classes, the right activities, and taking the right tests are all decisions that shape your future. Find out more today on Destination University with Dr. Cynthia Colon. Dr. Colon and her guests will give you the tips you need, whether you're a student, parent, or educator. Now, here is your host, Dr. Cynthia Colon.
You're listening to Destination University, a podcast for college-bound teens and the parents, mentors, and educators who support them. If that is you, you are exactly where you're supposed to be. Hello, everyone. I'm your host, Dr. Cynthia Colon, TEDx speaker, college admission strategist, and author of the book, Be Committed, Get Admitted. Welcome to Destination University. We help high school families successfully navigate the college admission process by helping students create an action plan, become interesting applicants, and write compelling essays that increase acceptance letters. As a former admission officer at Vassar College and an elite private school counselor in Los Angeles, I have coached, mentored, guided, and worked directly with over 10,000 students. I know what it takes to get admitted to top 100 colleges. As my gift to you, I'm revealing the exact admission committee process we used at Vassar. It's all in my new guide, 4 questions admission officers ask when deciding who to admit or reject. You can get that at drcynthiacolon.com/admit. In the guide, I share the 4 questions I used in the 12 minutes I had to review an entire application. I give you the order I read the application, what I was looking for, what I highlighted and took note of. If you've ever wondered what admission officers are looking for and how decisions are made, well, today is your lucky day. Again, go to drcynthiacolon.com/admit. Okay, let's get to today's episode. Okay, let me answer a couple of questions and I'll also talk about the profile. Stephanie, was there a theme that I missed that I should answer right away?
I don't think so. I think we covered everything. There was a theme about resume and activities that we didn't completely cover.
Okay. All right. Let me begin with that and forgive me. I have old eyes, you guys. So Stephanie has to be my eyes in the chat unless I have my glasses on. So the resume section, I believe you get 20 entries and they're broken down into 6 types. It's like honors, it's a job, work literally that you're getting paid for. Other experience like internships go in another place. There's activities, honors, educational, supplemental things that you do in the summer, things like that. So there's 6 different sections, but you can use your 20 in any way you choose. If you have 20 that are, all activities, then it would go there. I believe community service is a separate one as well. So you get 20 entries. You want to pay attention to how many characters you get in each of the sections. So if you can imagine sort of like a row for each entry, there are certain characters, a character maximum for every single area that you are going to be answering. So one of the things that we teach in college essay boot camp, we do the essay portion in the morning, or answering questions, PIQs and essays in the morning. And in the afternoon, we actually specifically go over the UC and the common application and teaching students how to maximize and leverage the space, the limited space that is allowed for that. So please be aware of that. Those of you who are Dream College Academy members, all of this is also found in module 3, the resume section. And those of you in College Essay Bootcamp, it is also found in the Common App UC bonus that you get there. I think that's module 8, I'm going to say. Okay.
I want to repeat this question because I think it's important to be answered. And Denise, I'll come back to yours, but Kim asked a question about, do they accept a limited number of kids per school?
Oh, okay. Do they accept it? Okay. So I think you heard, well, I think both of them kind of said this. So there's no quotas, if that's sort of what so the short answer is no, right? There are no quotas as to how many students they need to take, have to take, should take, none of that by high school. You heard Gary say that the governor, and I've heard this too, is asking them to come down in terms of out-of-state students to 18%. Okay, so I guess that would be the closest thing to sort of a quota. Now, I will say this, because I worked at a private, elite private school, and I've also been a principal at Catholic schools, I will say that I think that the change of the test optional and a lot of things that have happened over the last being test blind, sorry, not test optional for the UC system is test blind. I think there's just been, different patterns. And I think that's what people are picking up on or feeling like, oh, we used to, this private school used to have 15 students admitted and now they're getting, 13 or, I mean, it's a small number, but it feels like things are different. If it feels that way, it is that way because the number of applications continue to rise as well. Okay. Actually, I think it's kind of settling. 146 is actually down for UCLA from where it was a couple years ago. I think it was at 150 at some point. Okay, very briefly. So 2 things I want to cover. So stick with me. And that is the school profile. So the school profile, if you are new to our world or sort of just getting into following, I do a number of podcast episodes on this. It's a thing that you want to know. You want to Google your high school name. So Palo Alto High School, for example, plus the words school profile. Okay. You don't have to, please don't do that right now. And then you're going to find a Google, if you Google it, it should, not always, but it should come up with a PDF that you'll see. And that is you're going to click on that. And it probably is from 2023, maybe 2022. It could be even 2019. It is the Bible in which colleges look to understand the context in which you come from. That's your high school. It gives the demographic information. It gives test score averages. It gives the list of honors and AP courses that are available to you at your high school or IB courses. It gives everything. It also should give the list of colleges that students from your high school have been admitted to and or have matriculated to. So that's usually the last portion. So if you can imagine, when I was in admissions, I would open up your file and read it and start to take notes. And I was looking at the transcript, I was looking at everything in your file, but I was also looking to understand your high school and where you come from, right? So a quick example is a student who has 3 APs available to them. That's the maximum number of, that is offered at his school or her school, and they took all 3. That is very different than the student who had access to 25 APs and took 0 or took 1, right? So there's a difference, especially in the UC system. There's a difference between being UC eligible, meaning you met the requirements, the basic requirements of being UC eligible. There's a difference between being eligible and being competitive. And the 2 schools you heard from today, you really need to understand, how am I going to be a more competitive and compelling applicant? Okay. All right. I think that leads me to what I want to share with you, which is the options that we have to work with us. Why do I say this? Because you, the student, if you're here, or parent to your child, there are 2 million plus students who will apply to college this year, okay, to 4-year institutions. That is not who your child is competing against, okay? When you're talking and you're here trying to earn a spot, your child is trying to do nearly the impossible. They're trying to earn 1 of 5, 10, 15, 25, maybe 35 spots out of every 100 applicants that are submitted, okay? You're trying to do nearly the impossible. So your child is not competing against those other 2 million. Your child is competing really against the UC system, total system, gets just over about 220,000 unique applicants, okay? And imagine, of those 220,000, 146 of them, 1,000 apply to UCLA. So you heard Gary say that the freshman class they're bringing in is 6,400. I'm going to guess they need to admit, I think they need to admit something like 10 or 11,000 to get that freshman class. Okay, so you're trying to earn one of those 11,000 spots out of 146,000. How do you do that? How do you do that is by leveraging what goes into that application. Every word is high real estate. So there are two things you can do immediately. I'm going to send you the link right now. I'm going to walk you through what's here for our college essay boot camps. We have just a couple more spaces for our July 22nd. We had another essay coach who joined in, and so it opened up a couple more spaces. So we have, actually, we can take 4 more. We had another sign up. Hi, Lucy, another sign up today. So there you go. Let me walk you through this. So 95% of our students get admitted to their dream colleges, meaning they got admitted to one of their top 3 choices. Okay. So we've got 3 options for you with College Essay Bootcamp, and I'll walk you through these quickly. And then Stephanie has an option for you as well. There's the digital on demand. You get everything that we do in Essay Bootcamp, but it's on your own time. If you cannot make these dates with us, you can do the courses, you can do the lessons and do everything on your own. The silver and the gold package are the most popular. So if you are someone who's applying to the UCs or top 100 college and you need an essay coach for just 5 days, you want to get something done, you want to get personalized feedback, you get a personal coach for 5 days, this is the package for you, okay? For those who are really motivated and really serious about trying to access top 25 or top 50 colleges, you probably want some extended personal support through the fall, because trust me when I tell you, the supplemental essays are just a beast. And we have students who report spending 100+ hours on their applications in the fall. And we have students who report needing to have about 48 different essays for the supplements. So if you're ready to do this, I would definitely say, go ahead and sign up for Essay Camp. We have some Essay Campers. Luke, I just saw you there. So that is the Essay Camp. If you're curious and you want more than what I'm just giving you now, I highly recommend just watching this short video. This short video will walk you through even more in depth as to what we do in Essay Camp and how we do it. And let's see, I'll pause there and I'll look for Stephanie's. Are there questions about what we do and how we do it? I can take 1 or 2 questions quickly, and then Stephanie, you can pop your link here in a second. Okay. How early should we get on college counselor? So Susie, I don't know if you're talking about a private college counselor. We work with students starting as early as freshman or sophomore year. I think I have some students who are here now that we started working with. If you're serious about trying to make a plan for top 25, definitely schedule an appointment with us. And we should get started on that. But for those of you who are less than 5 months away from applying to college, I don't recommend doing this alone. I don't, most students are either haven't done anything about starting to write or draft their essays, or they've started to write and spend hours without any expert guidance, or they say that they're thinking about their ideas. The essay, the personal statement, should be a topic that I cannot find anywhere else in the application. You heard Guka say, don't waste space. If I already know you're a volleyball player, like, that's not really what the essay, the questions, the PIQs are for. So that's what we do in Essay Camp, is really help you understand what and why, what each portion is and why each portion is important and what should go in each portion. So we walk you through all of that. Okay. All right. One last thing, Stephanie's going to pop into, if you're new to our world and you're like, that's crazy, do people do that? I'm Generation X, daughter of an immigrant mother, went to a public school, rolled out of bed, applied to 5 colleges, got into my dream school, USC. That is not how this works anymore. And so, we really do believe that, again, if you're trying to access top 100 colleges like the ones you saw today, it just is best to get, a little guidance, a little bit of expert advice, if you're trying to achieve something, you want to get that. But we have a way for you to take a sneak peek and do a short workshop with Coach Stephanie next week. She's going to pop that into the chat right now, or maybe she did already.
I did. I already posted. I'll put it in again. So next week I will be teaching Tuesday, July 16th. There's a 9 a.m. Pacific time option and a 4 p.m. Pacific time option. And it's going to be about 2.5, but plan for 3 hours, just so I just want to be sure that everybody gets the feedback that they want and gets their questions answered. But what I will be teaching is how to get started on your essays, how to draft your ideas, and we will be writing. This will be a timed writing session. And I will speak with hopefully each of the students, and we'll workshop your ideas and we'll really flesh it out to give you a really good head start if that's all you do. If this is just a preview for you of what essay camp is going to bring, then you'll be ahead of the game before you even get to essay camp, which is a great thing. So I would encourage all of you to take advantage of this opportunity. The course is $197 for the 3 hours, but today I'll put this in the chat as well. $25 off if you use the coupon code. I'm going to type it into the chat right now. It's, if you do nothing else, it's the best 3 hours that you're going to spend this summer to get started and get going. Because if you haven't made that effort yet, believe me, you're going to regret it come next month. So the date again is July 16th, which is next Tuesday. There's a 9 a.m. Pacific option, which is 11 Central, 12 noon Eastern, and then 4 p.m., which is 6 Central and 7 Eastern.
Okay.
I'm going to pop the coupon code in the chat right now.
I know Coach Stephanie has to go. I'm going to stay on, you guys. If you need to pop off, that's fine. The coupon code is only for you that are here on this call. But I'm seeing some good questions here. How much do we need to focus on the personal statement? And do colleges know if you used a college counselor? Okay, and then Stella, you're asking hourly in the PIQs. Okay, I'll answer all of these questions. Okay, MJ. So, okay, bye, Stephanie. Thank you so much. Do colleges know if you used a college counselor? Okay, so this is what I'm going to say, and I'm recording this for the purposes here, and so I'm going to be very candid with all of you. If you've been following me for a long time, I have said and made it very clear that one of my biggest missions is to help close the information gap, to help close the education gap. I am from public school. I worked as a principal at Catholic Archdiocese schools, but I also worked at a private elite school, an all-girls school here in Los Angeles, and I worked at Vassar College. Okay. What resources are available for independent schools, high schools, and some of you might be here, I always say, if you have a counselor to student ratio at your high school that's under 75-1, you're doing great. If it's under 60-1, you're doing even better. We had 55 students per counselor at the girls' school that I worked at. So they're getting a lot of valuable time and tips and strategies along the way as to what to do. Working with us, we don't write your essays for you. Believe you me, I'm giving you, this is my mission, to give you everything I used to give to my private school students, all the girls there. I've put it in a book. You can have it for $20 in my book, Be Committed, Get Admitted, or you can actually have us work with us on these applications, because that's what we did at the private independent school. So some of you might be feeling like, oh, it might be cheating if I do this. And I would just say to you this, look, everybody, whatever it is that your goal is, if your goal is to lose weight before your class reunion or to do whatever, you get help. You get the help that you need for a short-term or a long-term goal. And that's really what you're doing, and you're giving your child the gift of that. So that's really all I'll say. But I would definitely choose to get something versus nothing. So do something, take action and get the help that your child deserves. Okay, so that was one question. How much do we need to focus on the personal statement? Okay, so Rithwick, so thank you for that question. Look, when it comes to college admissions, again, if you're here because your son or daughter or you're the student is applying to at least one college that admits fewer than 30% of their applicant pool. Okay. Everyone in that applicant pool, 60 to 80% of that applicant pool, they're all equally academically qualified. So the only thing you have to your advantage is to have control over what you say and put onto paper. Your college application is your written interview for your dream job, for your dream college. I cannot guess what you meant to say, wanted to say, should have said, wished you said. We're only going to be able to judge and decide on your application based on what's in the application. So please understand, just understand that when I'm saying, what I'm saying to you is, don't underestimate the pool of applicants and don't overestimate your ability to do this on your own. Okay. Those are the two biggest mistakes that teenagers and families make in this process. Okay. All right. Let's see. All right. I saw something up here. See the same context of a high school as a private university. Do you see admission officers see the same context of a high school student as a private university? Do they have admission officers who are in charge of a region? Oh, Mark, you had asked this one. So they do. I meant to have Gary say this in my podcast with him. He did say that there are people who are assigned. It's much harder to find. So Mark is asking the question, if you tomorrow you tune in with our two deans, Dean of Admission from USC and Dean of Admission from Bowdoin College. Tomorrow's session is at 1 p.m. Every Wednesday, we're at 3 p.m. Pacific time, 6 p.m. Eastern time. And every Thursday, we are 1 p.m. Pacific time. And what is that? 4 p.m. Eastern time. Okay. So they'll explain how it's different. But the UCs do have regional officers. But it's not completely the same because, as you heard, they hire an army of external people to help with the reading. So it's not completely the same as it is with a private school, but similar. Okay. Let me see if I can answer anything more. So can my son watch a different session on another day? He was at basketball. These sessions, we record them, but the recordings go into, if you're part of Dream College Academy or College Essay Bootcamp, they go into our members. So if you have membership, you'll get the replay. Okay. I'm probably missing something. Let's see. Okay. Oh, this is a great question, Jordan. There's so many counseling services available out there. What is the one way or thing that a parent should look for when trying to find the best fit for their child? So, I would say to you, this is a really good question. And obviously we offer services. And so when I see others, I think the first question I ask is, what experience has that company or service had? Meaning, I talk about being on both sides of the desk. So in college admissions, we call it the shipping and receiving. So I worked at Vassar College on the receiving end, and I also worked as the director of college counseling on the shipping end, right? And I've also been a private college counselor since then. So I've been in the business for many, many years. So that's the first question I usually like to ask is, like, literally, has the person or the team read applications that were, and been in a decision maker's chair? That's the first question. The second question, or the second thing I really look for is, And I don't know I would have said this before, but you saw who we have as our guests today, and you see who we have as our guests tomorrow. Why? I'm going to say this not to impress you, but to impress upon you the value, right? So I worked at Vassar College. All of my mentors when I was all of 20 something were all veteran admission folks who worked at Ivy League and sister institutions, all of the most elite colleges in the country. So we all were working together. I was being mentored by seasoned professionals in other schools. And then many of my colleagues then went and spread out, got other jobs. So Yvonne Romero worked as the VP at Rice University, et cetera. Again, tomorrow you'll meet Tim Brunold, who I've known for a long time from USC, and Claudia Marroquin as the dean from Bowdoin College, which is an elite private school back east as well. She's from Los Angeles. You saw who we had today. We've had people from all across the country. So it's an extensive network. And again, for me, my personal mission is to help close the gap of what public school students and Catholic school students have access to and give you access. What you're getting today is my way of I'm reminded that when I worked at Vassar, I was given a list of high schools to go visit. I can only visit so many high schools in a given week. I had 1 week to visit, 5 days? 5 days to visit California. So it was like, no, that's not true. 3 days in Southern California and 3 days in Northern California. That also included San Diego. So it's very few schools that I could visit. So I was given a list, and truth be told, much of that list were private independent schools that nowadays cost north of $40,000. Okay. Why was I told to go visit those schools? Because when I showed up, there was an audience. There would be 10, 15, 20 students there to see me and hear what I had to say, and I could share about Vassar. And it was a very worthwhile time. When I would go to public schools, not always true, but many times that counselor did not do a good job of recruiting students to see me or wasn't there, things like that. So after a while, we stopped to go and visit those public schools. However, I realized that if I gathered all of the public school students and other, not sorry for those of you who are private schools, but I realized if I gathered all the public school and Catholic school students and those who don't always have access, well, I could get Gary, a Gary and a Kuka. These are dean, VP, and director level positions, right? You don't always have access to that. So that's why we created Dream College Academy, to give you the access that probably the one person that you are at your high school, you wouldn't have access to, but together, collectively, you are a power group. They want to say yes. They want to meet you. And so that's what we're trying to do, is trying to give the colleges access to students like you, rock stars, and give you rock stars access to people like them. So, okay, I will pause there. All right, it's 4 o'clock, top of the hour. Was this helpful? Please type into the chat one takeaway that you had today. And Connie, so your question is Connie's question is, will these mini workshops be offered again and again? Understand, as we get closer to school starting, you got to go big or go home. Like at this point, you got to take the dive and just do it. You need the help, because trying to get a date that works for high school students during school is like trying to corral cats. So we do less and less as the time goes on, also because we concentrate on giving. I see Mark, I see Lucy. We concentrate on giving our gold, platinum, and VIP students the attention they deserve. So if you can take advantage next week, I would definitely do it. For those of you who are just ready, just get enrolled in the essay camp. Like, there's nothing better. Luke, are you still here? I was going to have Luke share his. Luke, are you still here? Okay. Luke just took essay camp, and Mark and Lucy are about to take the June 22nd one. So, okay, no worries, guys. All right. So did you type into the chat? Type into the chat one thing you heard me say and one action step you're going to take. You're 2025, you are literally less than you're 5 months away. So you've got to make a decision on what you really, really want. And as I said to one of my privates this week, when you're with me and you're on my team and I'm in your corner, we take nothing for granted. Right, Mark? We take nothing for granted. Mark has already submitted his teacher recommendation requests. He's already heard back from them. He followed exactly the method we teach and is going to have stellar recommendations because of the way he's being coached. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Fernando, I can't answer. I mean, I don't know how it's going to affect it right now. What we do know is that essays are still the way. All right. So I'm typing to the chat. I'm just reminding everyone, if you do nothing else today, watch this video that I just popped into the chat. And those of you who are rock stars and ready to just do this, make a difference. And Lucy, I know your dad was like, okay, we're ready. We're in. So I know he's signing you up today. So if you are ready, I would definitely get started. Okay. All right, guys. That is all I've got for you today. Bye for now. Good to see you all. You're welcome. Welcome, welcome, everybody. So good. We will send the information about the mini workshop in an email as well. But please hang on to the coupon code for those of you who are here. Get started 25, you'll save $25. That's only if you were here. So yes, HC, we're here every Wednesday and Thursday, unless last week is a holiday week. So we try to do 2 workshops every week, at least 1 workshop, but it's always going to be in these same time slots. Wednesdays at 3, Thursdays at 1. Okay, Pacific time. All right, bye everyone. Here's the truth. For nearly 30 years, I have worked at elite private colleges and/or private high schools. I know what well-resourced families do to ensure college success, and I can tell you, if your child is enrolled at a public or religious high school, chances are she or he is already 5 steps behind. However, today is your lucky day. To get you ahead of your private school peers, I have a gift for you. I'm revealing the exact admission committee process we used at Vassar. It's all in my new guide, 4 questions admission officers ask when deciding who to admit or reject. You can go to drcynthiacolon.com/admit to get your copy. I share the 4 questions I used in the 12 minutes I had to review the entire application. If you've ever wondered what admission officers are looking for and how decisions are actually made, you're not alone. Take action now to get 5 steps ahead and begin increasing those acceptance letters. Again, that's Dr. Cynthia Colon, drcynthiacolon.com/admit. That is all I have for you today, my friends. Thank you for tuning in to Destination University. I'm Dr. Cynthia Colon. If this episode has in any way helped, fueled, or inspired you, please share this episode with 3 people in the next 30 minutes. You can subscribe to Destination University wherever you get your podcast. And while you're there, leave us a review. It sure does help a lot. By subscribing and reviewing, you help to grow the community of informed families across the nation. And if you haven't binge listened to our previous seasons, do it. With each episode, you'll learn a new tip, trick, or strategy for success. Start with episode 1. The one word every parent should remove. You'll learn my mom's secret to ensuring college success for her daughters. And once again, if you found value today, please share this episode with 3 families in the next 30 minutes. I'll be sure to see you next week, same time, same place. Until then, wherever you are, may you have a happy and sunny day. Bye for now.
Thank you so much for listening this week to Destination University. Be sure to join Dr. Cynthia Colon again and get one step closer to your success.